All right, hi. So this is Amy from Real Advice Gal, and this is going to be our first Google Live Hangout. I'm the owner operator of Madam Deals Incorporated, which owns Real Advice Gal or whatever. And I have with me Angie and Crystal, and we're going to kind of, I don't know, we don't really have a plan too much, but we thought that we would share our lives with you and some tips that we have, and whatever. We just thought this would be really fun. We actually have worked together for a long time now, and we have a tendency to hang out on Facebook and do our work, and we joke around a lot with one another. And we thought it'd be really funny and fun to encourage our readers and people that read the site realadvicegal.com and menclean.com and lovelaughterforeverafter.com and vacationmaybe.com to people behind the sites as opposed to just seeing our randomness, right? So why don't we just tell like something funny about us or something like, I don't know, let's share. So I'll be the first to share. So in my house, I know that we are going to do this Facebook Live, and I have been home for like all of 20 minutes because I was at King's Dominion. So I had to rush home and take a shower because I had public water all over me, and I want to get on a chat after being at King's Dominion all day. And I came home, and my husband has just come home from work, so there's like suitcases in the hallway, random boxes, random packages, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't go live with all this junk in the background. So I'm moving it all around, only to realize that I've moved it more in the shot as opposed to out of the shot. So that's pretty much my life, thinking I'm doing something and it didn't work. So go ahead, share your story. Oh look, and I have my Adidas shoes that you can clearly see. Everybody else have a son that leaves their shoes everywhere.
I'm just hanging out. We've had a crazy day around here. We ventured out. We're here in Orlando, and there's been some storms this evening, and today we ventured out over to Target because it is Target July toy clearance. Thursday is the markdown day for toys. If you don't frequent Target clearance like I do, you probably wouldn't know that. But on Thursdays in the morning, they mark it down. So me and a handful of other women are usually there on Thursday mornings in July and in January, every Thursday, waiting because they clearance out all of their old toys, and they bring in an entirely new lot every July and every January. And this year they started a little early, so everything is actually at 50% right now. And next Thursday it should be at 70%, and the Thursday after it'll be at 90%. And then it's gone by then. So we headed out, and it was a weird day because the Target that I frequent is a block away from Pulse nightclub. So it was the first time that we had gotten close to Pulse, and so it was interesting, and it was somber, and I just finally went back into the dairy aisle at my Publix, where Corey, who used to work there, who passed away in the shooting, where he has always greeted me in the dairy aisle at Publix. So let's get back to normal around here. So back to clearance shopping. Just my normal.
Yeah, but honest to goodness, I saw your pictures on Instagram, and I was like, why are the kids with you? Like, how are you going to do the whole ho 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 thing?
Oh, no.
Or do they forget?
It doesn't get purchased during that time. It's usually, I have a toy closet. I keep a toy closet for birthday parties, mainly. So I keep it pretty stocked during these clearance things, where I buy just random things that are marked down 70 or 90%, and I keep them in the closet for birthday parties.
And then you got to hope that your kids are cool enough to get invited to something. Otherwise, you're going to have all these toys.
I must say, I've got a couple years worth of toys in there from the past, thinking that like Hannah would be at more parties. Uh,
Right?
so we try to keep ahead of it because my worst feeling ever is paying $20 for a gift on a Saturday morning before a party. That is like that's my version of hell. So because I am not someone just pay full price for much. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's been a weird day around here, but then I came home and got ready for this, and the baby's asleep for now. He may wake up soon, and I'll have to readjust the camera.
So they say.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but so in case y'all don't know, Angie writes all the living on $30,000 or less posts on Real Advice Gal. So she's my bargain shopping saving guru, and I try to live by most of her tips so that I can buy shoes. Is that
What's funny is I try to live by your tips so that I can spend on myself finally, and finally getting to the point where I'm starting to realize like I have to actually buy stuff for me occasionally.
Yeah, well, wearing, yeah, I mean, you got to go out sometimes, even if it is the Target or the clearance aisle.
It's true.
Okay, so Crystal, tell us your story. What's your story?
I'm just boring apparently compared to y'all, because I stayed home and cleaned.
We all
But
have our
took care of, yeah. No, I cleaned bills that I have, and my husband just got off midnight shift, so regrouping to the new
You've got a
normal.
little bit of feedback. So,
Yeah, that's about it.
Crystal is my husband's work wife because she manages him on menclean.com. Because I only want to manage him at home. I don't want to manage him at work. So, and Crystal really enjoys cleaning, and I really enjoy watching Matt clean. So it works out just fine for us. But that's Matt's work wife and cleaning aficionado. Whenever I have cleaning questions, I'm like, hey, Crystal, how do you fix this? Or whatever. Like if Matt's not available, because, if Matt's available and like something drops on the floor, he's like, got it. Like, yeah, you know.
Mhm.
And it doesn't matter if it's 3 in the morning and everybody's sleeping. He will get up because he saw a crumb somewhere.
feel like her
Um,
signal. Something
yeah, right.
there's a spill.
Some people just feel that way. So
Mhm.
this is we were going to do some summer tips or whatever, and I shouldn't like spill my whole story, but as a blogger, one of the ways that we make money is we get approached by brands to share and to do things that we're normally doing. And I always say that I've monetized my life so that I get paid to do what I'm supposed to do. And one of the things that I'm supposed to do is cook dinner every night, or at least 5 nights a week, just because that's kind of the arrangement that my husband and I have. And then on the weekends, he cooks all weekend, every meal. But it's just easier. He works until 6. He has one of those jobs that he has to be on the phone and he has to be doing certain things. And I have one of those jobs that I could work at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and then not work again until 7 or 8 o'clock at night, just depending on what my responsibilities are for the day. So I'm a little more flexible as far as what I can do with the children. So one of the strategies that I have is finding clients that will pay me to make dinner. It is just more rewarding to me because after you've cooked 3 meals a day for 5 days, I would like to get paid to do that. And my husband's not going to pay me. So I had to find somebody else that was willing to pay me to cook. So, I mean, that's one of the perks of blogging, I guess, is getting paid to cook. But I also don't really enjoy cooking when it's done every day unless it's easy and it's something that I can do quickly. Because I find, do you girls find that at like 5 o'clock that these little things replace your children and they're called the devil?
Yes.
Like, is it totally me or something? Like my kids were really sweet at like 4:45,
Hey,
and then
mommy.
at 5 they're
Hey, mama.
awful.
We
Mommy.
joke that it's hangry around.
Mommy.
And,
Mommy.
and some of
Mommy.
us have kids that are around again.
Chris, was that your daughter?
The kid that won't go to bed. She's like whack-a-mole. Every time they put her in a room, she goes back or more. Um, so one of the strategies that I have is that I find things that are like almost done, right? And then I pretend that I worked really hard, on dinner when my husband comes home, like that it didn't take 10 minutes to put this together. So one of the posts that I did this week was for um, these tortilla land wraps, and you actually cook these, and it's like 30 seconds on a warm heat, and they are incredible. And then I cheated because I asked my sons to help, because my oldest likes to cook because he doesn't have to normally. So he thought it was cool to help cook, and he enjoys it, so I cheated. But then I took these Tyson's, the grilled and ready strips. These are great. So these are in the freezer section. I got these at Walmart, both of these items at Walmart. And I marinated this with a little wishbone Italian dressing, like for 10 minutes, and then we threw them in the pan. And I mean, it's so easy that, a kid that's 11 was cooking the dinner. You just have to watch them so they don't burn down the house. But he's pretty good. I just kind of stay there, watch him do the work. And then I put the tortillas in the pan after I cook the chicken, because you should cook the chicken first, and then the tortillas. And then I just wrapped them with lettuce and tomatoes inside, and you can put avocados in there, you can put onions in there, you can put whatever. But it's a really simple dinner idea. And I made the whole bag of marinated chicken, but we didn't eat it all in one setting. So the next setting, since it's already grilled and you're just heating it up, I just put it in some salad, and it's just another really quick dinner idea, because I find that I lose track of time, and then when my children start behaving like demons, I realize it's dinner time, and then it's too late because they've already changed. They've gone from nice to naughty, and you only have a couple minutes to like get something together before one of them may not make it. So that's like one of my easy tricks, is to find stuff that's already partially cooked or pre-cooked, and kind of think like, what can I make, and then what can I make again, or how can I make that again. So definitely in the summer, simple, easy, light meals are something that we do. And that post will be up it'll be up the 7th of July, my recipe and my pictures, and you get to see my boys. They had a great time, and my oldest really wants to cook, and I think it's my job as a mom to make sure that he can cook dinner for us every night, perhaps. But definitely, when he gets older, I don't want his wife complaining to me that I raised some kid that can't cook.
I was going to say, his wife will thank you for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Like his daddy cooks too. Well, he cooks on the weekend, like I said. I suck it up 5 days a week, and then daddy cooks for 2. But I do get breakfast in bed on Sundays, so nothing can beat that, right? But pretty good negotiating, right?
That's awesome. Yeah, we did some cooking around here today, the bulk cooking, because we like to, because like you said, I do the 30,000 posts. A big key to the way that we live around here is similar to, you were saying get paid to cook is a big thing for you. For me, I take on my role as a wife and a mother, as a CEO of my house, so I make it my job, and I think of it that way. So I think of ways to, make every dollar stretch, and in a way that I think of it like a business. So when it comes to food, I tend to, like on Thursdays, which is also the day that my Target does their meat goes clearance. I buy up a lot of meat, and then I cook it all at once and portion and freeze it, with marinades and things like that. So it's very similar to what you do, but I do it, from the frugal standpoint, where I do it in bulk so that I don't have last minute, oh my gosh, I need to feed these kids, let's just order a pizza, or something like that that's unhealthy, costs twice as much, and just all around, doesn't fit into the lifestyle of our family. And that's one of our biggest things around here is we try from a very similar point of view, just more from the frugal living aspect.
Yeah, well, I mean, I really enjoy spending time with my family, and I don't really want to be in the kitchen for hours. And I think it's stressful too, because obviously I work from home, and even though I say I get paid to cook and take pictures, but running a business and several blogs, and is work, and then having children and all that kind of stuff on top of it. So I do find that I get really.
I don't know, I think mine froze up. Oh,
I hear you now.
oh, I hear you. I just heard
I hear
Crystal.
you.
But Amy.
Yeah, Mike,
Oh, there you are.
Oh,
maybe. Can you hear me?
yay. Yes.
So I throw it in that pot thing, that pressure cooker thing, and I can cook it in like 15 minutes from frozen. It's kind of crazy. In case I forgot to put it in the crock pot that morning,
That's
because
nice.
I have both.
I forget the crock pot all the time. I love my crock pot, but I forget it. It'll be around 3:30 that I go, oh no.
I was supposed to put that in this morning.
Oh no, I was supposed to press on. Apparently pressing on. It was too much.
I forgot to plug mine in one day, and I came home from when I was volunteering, and I was like, and the kids are like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I don't smell anything." And they're like, "Well, what are you trying to smell?" And I'm like, "Well, normally when you walk in and you've like turned on your crock pot in the morning, you smell like dinner, And I'm like, "Oh man!" So I went and like it had thawed out, but it certainly wasn't ready to eat. I was like, man, I totally forgot to plug it in. That's just bad. But those are winning and losing moments, right? Because my kids ate breakfast that day. They got lunch. Went to volunteer. I was like, so I forgot to cook dinner in the morning. You can't be too hard on yourself.
No, ma'am. Go to bed.
So anybody have any tips on how to get a 3-year-old to bed? We have the whack-a-mole child. I'm going to call her whack-a-mole.
She's got red hair, man. She's not going to listen to anybody. She is a spirit.
This is killing me.
Such a spirit.
Way high parenting skills I've got right now with Aaron.
Let Daddy handle it. Your husband's handled worse.
I'm done for the day.
Your husband's handled
Over
worse.
the shoulder she goes. Oh.
Do you think
Speaking of vacations, want to talk about how to get your car ready for vacations?
Yeah.
You know what's so funny? Crystal, this weekend we have to change our oil. It's like our number one priority this weekend to change the oil on all of our cars. And it has been on our list for, when did summer start? Like 2-3 weeks ago? It has been on our summer list to change the oil on our cars.
It goes by your miles, not by the time date, right?
What?
I said, it goes by your miles, not the time date. Just saying.
No, we've got old cars. Like I said, we live at 30,000, so we're driving those things into the ground.
She's got the Fred Flintstone mobile.
Our cars are 2001 and 2002, so they're trooper cars. But yeah, it's been on the list. This weekend, and we don't really go anywhere, to be honest. We're home a lot, or we are local a lot. Occasionally we go to the theme parks. The past few weekends we've been going out to the parks before it gets too ungodly hot. But this weekend we said, we have to do our oil changes. And I've been thinking about your post, and that in theory I might be able to do it myself.
Well, it seems like there are a lot of steps. Really broke it down to an easy where, I mean, you're not going to miss anything. So you start at number 1 and you work your way down. There's videos and there's tips in between. So I mean, everything that you need to do, it's explained. Yeah.
Yeah, the videos and the pictures made me really feel like I could do it. So I'll have to update you on whether or not I actually can. But it's a great post. There's so much detail.
Yeah. And then there's another one too about changing your engine air filter, and then it goes into some other ones as well, which you need to be doing before you travel and getting your car summer ready, because you don't want to get halfway to your destination then you're just stranded at the end, side of the road. So I mean, there's some great tips like checking the pressure in your tires. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you don't think about on a daily basis until you're, again, stranded on the side of the road and you have a flat tire. So just doing all these things will definitely help, if you're ready before taking that summer vacation with your whole family.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are probably traveling this weekend and the next few weekends leading up. I don't know. We did one road trip last summer up north to North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Martha's Vineyard for a wedding. And it was horrible. And
that's why it only happened once.
I love road trips. I love them. I've driven cross country several times. I've driven up and down the East Coast probably 20, 30 times. I love road trips. I do not like road trips with children. I think it would be different if they were a little bit older, but my son was potty training last year at this time, and it was every single exit. And it took days to get home. And I'm an incredibly positive person, and I couldn't. I was so done. I couldn't. And had we had a breakdown, I would have broken down. I would have lost my mind. So I'm sure that many people feel the same way. And who needs the added stress of something like a breakdown, something preventable, when dealing with such a stressful endeavor for parents.
So did you bring a potty seat in your car when you were potty training? Because I used to drive around with one.
Yeah, we did, but at the same time, we were in the middle of nowhere on the side of the road. We just ended up pulling over on the exits. But yeah, we had a potty seat, but we have sedans. We have not minivans, not SUVs, so there's no room within the car
to pee. So, hey, you.
Once we did put it in the trunk in a desperate moment and just sit him down in the trunk, but otherwise we were pretty full of luggage and stuff, so we just pulled over and we just tried to just accept that this was what was happening. But yeah, we're not going to be doing that again for a little bit, unless very necessary. Yeah, I can't imagine a breakdown. That would have killed me. It would have crushed every bit of my spirit.
Right. Oh. Yeah, it's the worst. And the other reason why all this is good is because I just recently took my car in, and they had a whole list of suggestions for things that we need to fix. And one of them was like the air filter in the car. Well, that was really funny that we needed to fix that when my glove box was totally stuck. So and our cabin, our filter is behind our glove box. Like I actually learned how to do it myself. You have to take out this whole thing because we have a Honda. And so I called the guy on and I'm like, well, how do you know it needs to be changed? Because I knew that I can't get my glove box open. And he's like, well, it's dirty. And I said, it is, it's dirty. I said, well, how do you know? Because I knew he couldn't get into the glove box because it's
It's
stuck.
into it.
And then I always lock my glove box when I go to anywhere to repair stuff, even though they have your car key or whatever. But for some reason, I just lock it, and I keep it locked most of the time because your registration's in there and all that kind of stuff. And I know it sounds goofy, but I keep it locked. So I knew that they didn't check the thing because I couldn't get it open because it was stuck, right? And so when I got my car back, I was like, it's still stuck. So there's no way in God's green earth that they looked in there to see that it was dirty. So I almost told them yes, just because I wanted my glove box unstuck. But, but they charge you like $30 more than what it costs, So that's like shoe money. I don't want to give them shoe money. I mean, I can take 10 minutes and I can get in there and do it. And if I can do it, y'all can do it because, it's not that difficult. Who do we wake up?
Lucas is away.
Oh, well, that's okay. He's allowed to be. Some 3-year-old redhead is not supposed to be that. And I'm just saying that I have the oldest kids, and they're all sleeping. I'm just saying, putting it out there.
Oh, I know. This one, the 8-month-old, he's my angel. He's my sweet pea, but he's needy right now. I think there's a growth spurt happening, and that's why I had him in the rock and play clothes. Oh, you guys are Lucas. Come on over here, baby. Oh, Luke, you're okay? Come see Amy and Miss Crystal. Come say hi. Oh, he says no.
Oh, he got so big. Oh, that's crazy. He's so big. So tell us, okay, so Florida Storm Girl, since we're talking about safety, what do you have going on?
And like I said, we had a storm earlier tonight, which, I've got a shadow just cruising along on my face. I can't get out of it. Oh, calm down, baby. Sorry, I'm going to have to keep the camera up. So, let me get this. What is going on with this? There it is. Okay. So, we had a storm earlier tonight. We, if you've ever visited Florida during the summer, you know that hurricane season is what it is. We haven't had a big one really since 2004, since we had our big season. But that doesn't mean that it 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock every day we get these torrential, huge storms. Lightning, thunder, power. The wind gusts are ridiculous, so we get these big storms. So for us, every June 1st is a marker. That June 1st every year in our house, we make sure our storm kits are up to date. Most people's storm kits are just hurricane kits. We tend to go a little bit of a step further, just because having been through the 2004 hurricane season, being native Floridians, we know that power goes out when these big summer storms roll through, regardless. But the thing is those kits add up, and especially if you are somebody who buys at the last minute. And like I said earlier, I am a frugally minded person, and that means that preparedness for me is the way to go. So I tend to buy things on clear in advance that last, and I cycle through every June. June 1st we go through our kits, and it's almost like a little party. We go through our kits and we change the batteries, and we put new Band-Aids and soups and pastas, things like that. We go through everything. And the key to getting through those things for us, and for not breaking the bank, because you can just buy the kits, you can, but the key for us is that we buy everything in advance. Throughout the year, I'm constantly picking up supplies. There are great sales. There are often tax-free. I don't know if they do that in other states where they have tax-free sessions. If that's just a Florida thing, where we have a week where supplies are tax-free. That doesn't happen every year, but that happens most years. Same as school. We get, right before the beginning of the school year, we get a tax-free week where we can go in and buy our things tax-free. So, again,
So what's in your kit for those of us that don't live in Florida anymore?
well, my kid's probably, like I said, a little bit more extreme and specialized to our family. Each of us have our own bags that are specifically to us. We use last year's backpack. So my daughter's backpack from last year that she loved so much, and then she gets a new one in the fall. So her old backpack becomes the new hurricane bag in July or in June. So right after she's out of school, it becomes the new bag. That's how my parents did it, so that's how I do it. We put all kinds of things in there. There's coloring sheets, little puzzles, crayons, snacks. They each have their own little medical kit that's Band-Aids, alcohol swabs, antibiotic things, antibacterial hand wipes, things like that. They have a bottle of water, toothbrush, toothpaste, things that are specific to them. The baby has his own bag with all of his supplies, and then they each have changes of clothes, specifically shorts and socks. The rest of it is pretty easily washed or layered. Then we do each, my husband and I each have our own that has things we may need, personal items, things like that. Then we do a family tote, like a Rubbermaid tote that will have perishable food, non-perishable food items, candles, batteries, towels, things like that. We have the worst thing for me going through the 2004 hurricane season was we lost power, obviously. We ran out of batteries, and we had no access to the radio. And then rumors started. Did you hear another hurricane's coming? Because after the first one, it was, oh, did you hear another one's coming? Did you hear another one's coming? And when you don't have access to news or, phone chargers or, any of these things that you thought you'd eventually get power to charge, and 2 weeks later you don't have any power, it becomes important. So we have several hand-charged flashlights and radios, things like that I've gotten on clearance through the years. After the sales are over and after a hurricane didn't hit, they go pretty deeply on clearance, so you can pick them up pretty cheap. And then we keep, the other big thing we do is we put everything, we have an email address that's a family email address, and we take photos of everything on June 1st, all of our serial numbers on all of our electronics, all of our...
You are thorough. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody going through and taking pictures of everything, and wow, that's a great strategy.
The one thing in 2004 that everyone found out is that if you suddenly don't have access to your computer or the internet, you don't have your account numbers for things. You don't have your passwords a lot of times, and there's no way to send it to your email and check. So say somebody has to log into your account for something, they can't. So we keep one email address that keeps all of that information, and we're the only ones with the password. And then if we had to, we could have someone remotely log in from somewhere else and get that information for us.
That's really cool. Did that help you out? I know that you also had some issues with your house this year, with some major issues with your house this year. So was that also helpful, even though it wasn't a hurricane?
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of photos. So we were able to prove that a lot of this stuff that we had a leak in a wall that went down into the foundation and caused mold, and walls needed gutted, and it was a whole thing. But we actually didn't need to prove as much as we thought we did, but we were prepared to show pictures of things.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that, well, I mean, I don't know anybody that's thorough, but that's a really good idea, though, to take all the pictures and then send them to an email account or have them on a cloud or something. Um, I know that my cell phone is set up to go to a cloud on my Gmail. So anytime and I have storage there too. So that's something else that people could do if they had cloud storage, just to take it and put it on their cloud. Uh, I feel so like, what's the word, like technical? We have a cloud. Like, who thought you'd say that, right? And, back in the day, cloud was that white poofy thing. Now it's like something technical in the middle of nowhere that has all your information. Crystal's just laughing. Do you know how to clean mold, Crystal?
I do.
Yeah.
Get some bleach.
Get some bleach. So,
Oh, yeah.
I think, being prepared is kind of, even though we're saying this is a summer chat session or something, but really being prepared is useful at all times of the year. I know, Crystal, you do a lot of like preparation with cleaning and and that kind of stuff, which my strength is more like getting all my food organized so that I don't have to work as hard in the kitchen. I mean, I'm honest about it. I want to make nice, healthy, easy meals that are quick because I don't enjoy being in the kitchen.
I learned that also from before I even had kids, doing those frozen meals, and I love doing that. And I've started doing that now, where I'll take like a day a week, where I will prep most of my meals for that week, and I'll stick them in the freezer, and then the night before I pull it out and use a crock pot now because of you. And I love that. It's made it so much easier now with having two littles in the house. So yeah, it's been fantastic learning that.
Yeah, and I know, Angie, we had a major storm and we had power outages here. I don't live in Florida, obviously, but one of the things that we did was use our washing machine as a cooler, which most people don't think about, but it's easy because then when the ice melts, it has somewhere to go.
Yeah.
And plus it really does. It was some other place to store food. So that's another like cool tip that we used. And just so you know, like if your power does go out or whatever and you have homeowners insurance, they will cover your food up to a certain point. And I think people don't know that. I only had to use that once in 12 years, but it was really helpful when
one of those
our power went out for.
You really have it happen. You have no idea. You don't know what you need until you've gone through it. And having gone through 2004, I'm probably more prepared simply because of how bad 3 hurricanes in a row were. But before that, I mean, we would go through hurricanes. We're in Central Florida, so we get the armbands when things hit. We're not as, directly impacted usually. But when it happens, again, part of being prepared and also part of not getting completely, decimated. Most people don't have major savings accounts and, lines of credit to just suddenly tap into. So the great part of being prepared, is that you don't have to be just completely taken to the bank, or price gouged along the way. For us That's huge. I don't want to give my
Yeah, well,
I
I
don't want to give my
mean, it's a lot. We can be more prepared and how we can take care of our family, taking
there's a
care of your
comfort. Wow.
family.
There's a comfort in knowing that we have a plan in place, and that if something goes wrong, you know, um, we're not at the level of being like what are the people on TV, like the preppers, that are crazy about it. We just know that, if something goes
You
wrong,
mean having 70 pounds of rice?
I mean, who doesn't love rice? I,
The only time I love that much rice is if you're sleeping on it. Have you guys ever slept on a rice bed, like a bed made of rice? Maybe this
oh,
is a whole different story, but anyway. How do you know you've been to Asia? You've slept on a bed of rice.
good to know.
Yeah, I was at a massage place, but do we have to go there? No, probably not. Y'all, I'm laughing because we could see each other's faces and we all know each other too well, so we're all making faces at one another. So it's really funny if you're the one talking because you look down at your friends like making faces, and it's bad. But
My
yes,
face is
yes.
redder by the second because
Well, it
this
matches your pink hair.
this is not filled with coffee. It is empty, and my face is red. Whew.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. With your red hair. Hey, so we were talking
I'm
about mommy juice. So I drink milk and then I have like sweets every night or whatever. So my daughter, wait, this is funny. So my daughter now comes to breakfast and she goes to the cabinet and she gets a wine glass, and pours her orange juice in it. And my husband's like looking at her, right? Because she's like, why do you have a wine glass with orange juice? It's just like, that's what mommy does, is drink things out of the wine glass. But my husband was actually drinking wine, and the glass just happened to be like the first one in the cabinet because he didn't put it back in the hutch. He put it back in the cabinet instead of where it belonged. So, like you're just trying to get a drink, right? So I grabbed the wine glass and I put some iced tea in it. So now my daughter thinks it's really cool, right? So, she's probably going to go back to school. And when they draw the pictures of what they've done over the summer, my kid's going to be holding a wine glass. So I'm just preparing everybody right now for why that happened.
so I'm a total, like, what is it? I'm a teetotaler is how in the South they joke, that I can't hold my alcohol anymore, which is hilarious because I was a bartender for a long time. But I drank really in years, and I make a lot of jokes about drinking. So, everyone know in advance that I am almost always okay. Sometimes I'm joking about drinking, but sometimes I'm not. Um, but
Depends on the mood.
because we do have wine glasses. We have like 2 wine glasses in the house because it's very rare that wine is drank, and I'm too short to reach them. So we have wine. It is in a coffee cup.
Please don't tell me that you totem pole your children to get the wine. Please don't tell me
No,
that's how this
no,
is done.
this little kid IKEA chairs. Yeah.
No. We know what you do. You pick up your daughter and you're like, hey, here's an extra, like, 3 feet. Get it.
She's tall. She'll be fine.
No, I mean, you have to
She's
pick her
all
up
right.
to get the wine. It's like, how they
I
have
know.
those little things that you can buy with it's like a long hanger thing and it clips. And you just use your children. I see it. I know that's what's happening. Mm-hmm.
Go.
Go gadget child. You think there's a market for that?
I don't know. She's
earning her keep, right? Get mommy's wine. No, well, I don't drink wine, but the joke at my house is, well, I don't really drink any. I drink milk and iced tea or whatever, water. But the joke in my house is that I caused my husband to drink wine. I don't think it's funny, but he thinks it's funny.
Oh, did I laugh too hard? I'm sorry. I laughed.
Just because you know it's the truth.
What a funny bunch we're going to be in New York. What a funny
Oh
group
my
we're
gosh,
going to
yes.
be. We're not.
We're gonna have a blast.
Cookie party.
All right, girls. Well, we better go because it's really like late and we have to go. But anyway,
I gotta get my daughter back to bed.
yeah. So you have to get your daughter back to bed. I have raw cookie dough to eat that you're really not supposed to eat on air or like eat in general. But you know, we all have to have something that we're a little daring about. It's good. I don't care.
If we have readers who actually made it to the very end of this, good for y'all. This is a very long time listening to us talking. Leave a comment and let us know. You're obviously our biggest fans.
Or you just can't believe that we're doing this. It's one or the other.
Yeah. Or this has gone viral for all the wrong reasons.
Well, we did have a little bit of TNA. We had talked about rice beds, wine, cookie dough, prepared kit, how to cook at dinner quickly.
The Real Advice Gal Party.
Right, Real Advice Gal Party. I like it.
People
all right, ladies.
Advice Gal Party Club.
Yeah, that's what we should have. So realadvicegal.com and menclean.com are the sites that we all write for. Well, I don't write for menclean.com. I just sleep with the man that cleans so that he'll clean. Oh, I'm probably not supposed to disclose that, but we've been together for 20 years, so it's okay.
Yeah.
You have children. Just saying.
We have 3 kids.
I was like, the proof is in the pudding there.
Right? Hey, he does the dishwasher. He cooks over the weekend. I get breakfast in bed on Sunday. It's not just because I'm smart. All right, girls. Bye.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. Join us at realadvicegal.com. Bye.
Bye.